Well, welcome to this first episode of the Mobilized Leaders podcast. I'm James Chavez, and I'm super excited to be starting this, and I'm super excited to be on this journey with you. I hope you're going to get as much out of it as I am, because for as long as I can remember, I have been so passionate about helping people become more confident and competent leaders. So coaching them, pouring into them, training them, helping them learn from my mistakes and pitfalls has been one of the passions of my life. And I don't know about you, but I think I've learned more about leadership from bad leaders than good leaders. Can you relate? Have you probably had more bad leaders in your life than good leaders? Maybe you're one of those that you think, gosh, I want to be a good leader, but I don't know how. I'm doing what I think I've seen, monkey see, monkey do, but it's time to get better. It's time to sharpen those skills and be better. And so that's what I'm passionate about, is helping people be more confident and more competent in their leadership, because there's nothing worse than a competent leader that's not competent, right? We've had some of those as well. And so really what I'd love to do with this time is just really share some of my best practices and experiences, because I really started out a long journey of coaching and leading, and I've been in leadership for more than 2 decades. And really what I've learned, I've boiled down to some very basic principles that I think will help you be successful as well. And so that's what I wanted to do with this. I started out in banking, and I started out in loan officer, and then I moved up to be a banking center manager, and then a multi-site manager over several sites, then launched pilot programs, became a vice president, youngest vice president with our region of the largest bank in America at the time. And so really learned a lot about how to leverage experiences, how to be mentored directly and indirectly, and how to use these experiences to equip and empower the people around you, because you're only as strong as your team. Nobody can do things alone. Doesn't matter where you work, what you do, what your circle of influence is. If you don't have people around you that you're able to pour into, and people pouring into you and investing into you, we're not going to get better. And no one is going to do any good maintaining the status quo. So really what I'd love to do is take all these experiences. Again, from banking, I moved into church ministry. That's quite a leap. And you might say, wow, James, how did that happen? We'll save that for another day. There's going to be some more time that we'll share some of those details. But I did make that transition from a successful banking career where I was leading whole teams of people. And really, you had to worry about the metrics, the sales numbers, the accountability. Obviously, banking regulations played a big part of what we did, but really helping people to grow. And I promoted more people under me than any of my peers. And I took pride in that. I had more retention than any of my peers. Because again, I think you have to figure out what motivates your team and leverage and utilize that, because money can't be the incentive. Now in church work, as I mentioned, a lot of times you're leading volunteers or stipend individuals. Money is not the motivator. Money is going to come and go. Someone will always pay more. The grass is always greener somewhere else. So you have to figure out what motivates someone and help them unlock the passion and desires inside of them to be better and stronger leaders. So made this big leap, which I'll tell you more about later, from banking into church ministry, and was part of some incredible ministry opportunities from some small churches that actually grew into some of America's largest churches. So top 5 fastest growing churches, in the top 100 growing large churches in America. Worship leader, executive pastor, chief of staff, lead pastor. So for the past 15 plus years, I've been coaching and helping other leaders be all that they can be. I learned the hard way. I had a lot of pitfalls along the way, a lot of trial and error. So I am passionate about passing on and stewarding all of the lessons I've learned to help other leaders be better and to avoid the pitfalls, but to stand on the shoulders of people that have come before them and be even better, because we're better and faster and stronger together. And so that's what I'm passionate about. So then throughout that journey of growing and leading these large churches, building large teams, launching into multi-site models within a state and then around the world, actually seeing this, then launching our own nonprofit. My wife and I built a ministry where we continue to coach, and she's authored several books, and she speaks and coaches and teaches. And so we love leveraging and stewarding all of our experiences. And then from within that, I think COVID was another great time when a lot of my friends learned how to do a hobby or play an instrument or learn to speak another language. I decided I was going to go back to school as a lifelong learner, and I did a post-grad program from Cornell in business law. So leveraging the biblical studies undergrad I had, then along with this post-grad training to really help businesses, nonprofits, and churches to be better. In seminary, they teach you how to study the Bible and how to really dig into God's Word. They don't teach you a lot about operations, about team building, about mentoring, about finances, about contracts, about property acquisitions, mergers, and these are areas that I love helping churches, organizations, and nonprofits. So really over our time, I'm going to be sharing nuggets of truth, but I would love to connect with you in ways that can be even more personal and beneficial to you. And an easy way to do it is just to send me an email, james@mobilized.life. That's the email address, james@mobilized.life. You can email me, you can go to the website, you can schedule a time for us to connect, have a conversation, but I'd love to even invest helping you as a leader or your organization get better and stronger. And so really what I'd love to do is hear from you, send me some emails over our time together. I'm going to be fielding questions, but helping people understand how can we be better leaders? How do you address the challenges of being a leader that you kind of have this imposter syndrome? You found yourself in a position and you feel like you should know more than you do and you don't know what to do about it or where to go to get the answers. I can help you with that. Maybe you're in a place where you think, gosh, I don't know how to deal with conflict. I love pleasing people and I love keeping the peace, but when there's conflict or a difficult conversation to be had, I don't really know where to go. I don't know where to start, so I avoid it altogether. I can help you with that. Maybe there are some areas of your leadership that you just want to sharpen and get better. We'll be dissecting and unlocking some of the secrets that I found and a lot of the successful leaders around you that you just think, gosh, how did they get to where they are? I would love to be there. I would love to learn that. I would love to just spend 5 minutes with them. I've had the privilege of spending time with some of America's top leaders and even leaders from around the world. And again, I love learning from them. So if you're a life learner like me, this is the right place for you. The Mobilized Leaders Podcast, because we're going to be better. Mobilized means to assemble, to be ready for action. And that's what I would love for us to be as leaders. Always ready to move forward, to take ground, to be better, and to impact the people that we have influence over in a positive way. So subscribe, stay connected, hit that button wherever you're consuming podcasts. We're on Apple's playlist, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure that you're subscribing to this one so you don't miss any episodes. We can stay connected and you can share this with some other leaders or people in your sphere that would benefit from this. Because as leaders, we're going to keep getting better, sharper, and stronger. So I'm looking forward to staying connected. This was just me, just saying hello, giving you a little introduction, telling you who I am and how excited I am to connect with you and be a part of the journey together. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you at the next episode of the Mobilized Leaders Podcast.